Uber and Lyft is ordered to classify their independent contractors, their drivers, from independent contractors to employees. So in this episode, we're going to talk about what's the difference between an independent contractor and an employee. Will this be the end of Uber and Lyft? The appeal and the compromise. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about what's been running around ever since this morning. You guys and girls saw me post this on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, probably around about 6 or 7 o'clock this morning. And it was talking about Uber and Lyft. As you guys and girls know, that Uber is my wild card. And Uber and Lyft have in California, by a California judge in San Francisco, where they're headquartered at, they've been ordered by a judge to qualify their drivers as employees versus independent contractors. So the first thing, let's talk about what is an independent contractor versus an employee. So an independent contractor, that's someone, you are a driver. Well, not even a driver, but in any job. Like, take me for example, I hire someone to do my digital marketing, right? I outsource it. So instead of me having that person as an employee, I just outsource it. I go to your company. I say, hey, will you do my digital marketing or make digital flyers for me or whatnot? You make a flyer a week or whatever you do. And that company or that person says yes. And they give me a flat fee and I pay them like $100 a week. They take their money and they do whatever they need to do to fix whatever they need to fix. I outsource that. That's an independent contractor. The government does it a lot with government contracts. Companies do it all the time where they pretty much outsource their services, right? So now the difference is, now when you're an employee, instead of me hiring an independent contractor to go out and do my flyers, I have somebody in house that does all the flyers that I want to do. Now they are an employee, meaning that I put them on my payroll, I put them on a W 2. They're on my W 2 versus the contractor, independent contractor, they get a 1099. So what ends up happening is now this person, now that they're an employee, they can get paid time off, they can get sick time, they could get all type of benefits, unemployment, all that cool stuff. Same thing kind of with YouTube. YouTubers are considered to be independent contractors. They pay YouTubers through 1099s. We're not employees of Google, or I'm not an employee of Apple. I'm not an employee of whatever company. I just collect a royalty from these particular platforms for producing and doing what I do. So I'm an independent contractor, meaning I receive a 1099. I take my 1099, and via my 1099, I have to pay my own taxes. I have to pay my own. I have to file for my own taxes. I have to file for my own, the tax deductions, all of the good stuff. If I get sick, I don't call Google and say, Google, you owe me because I'm sick, or I need paid time off, or I lost income, unemployment. No, you don't get any of that as an independent contractor, but as an employee, you do. Now, a judge, up to this point, Lyft and Uber have been classifying drivers as independent contractors. You come in, you log in, you take rides, and as you take rides, we pay you money. And with that money, you go get your own gas, you go fix your own car, you go buy your own health care, anything. So it comes with no benefits as an independent contractor, right? So the judge just said, hey, you need to reclassify these people, your drivers, as employees. Ladies and gentlemen, if this goes through, this will be the end of Uber and Lyft. Why this will be the end of Uber and Lyft? Uber and Lyft, what made them so great is being independent contractors. Before Uber and Lyft, we had taxi cab services. Some people were independent taxi cab services. Some people own their own taxi cab companies, and some people drove for other people. There was employees for other people. So when you look at this, what made Uber and Lyft so powerful was they did not own any cars, they did not have any employees, but they provided a service without owning any cars or any employees. On the worker side of the house, it was kind of cool because on the weekend, if I felt like it, I can go drive for Uber and Lyft. But the downside is I don't get any benefits, I don't get any paid time off, things like that. Like I never drove Uber and Lyft, but I had a couple friends that have driven Uber and Lyft, and they pretty much like it's like a side thing, something they kind of do on the side, or something they do once they're unemployed or they lose their job, something to make a little extra cash. That's kind of it's considered. Most people consider it. I have heard of people using it as a full time job, but most of the people I know it's something they may do on a weekend or maybe during a downtime, during a hard time like this. They may pick up a little Uber and drive people around, things like that. So, but if this comes into play, this means that Uber and Lyft, first, they may have to provide cars, they may have to pay for oil, they may have to pay for all type of things. They have to provide unemployment, benefits, all of the good stuff. The downside for this, for the person who was just a casual driver, now you may have to have a set amount of hours or something like that, which again takes away from Uber being as great as it was. So I think that both of these companies, not either one of them are not profitable. They're already not profitable. They're trying to become profitable. If they have to take on this new burden of payroll and payroll taxes, it will be the end of Uber and Lyft. And Uber and Lyft went away, I automatically know who's going to hurt the most are the employees slash independent contractors who was doing this on the side. Because when I was 16 years old, I would have loved to have the opportunity to do an Uber or Lyft because I was looking for so many jobs. Shout out to Domino's Pizza that gave me my first job, but I was looking for opportunities. So I feel as though the employees or the workers will hurt more than the actual company. Yes, the company will probably dismantle, their value will drop drastically, the stock will drop drastically. And if this was to happen, I would reconsider my position into Uber. Right, I would wonder like maybe it may be my time to sell. People always ask me when would I sell, and I would always sell when the story doesn't match. Right, when the story is not matching what's going on, then that's be my time to reconsider my position. Right now, this is not the end of it because they are appealing. Lyft and Uber, they automatically said we're going to appeal this, we're going to fight this, we don't want to do this. They want to keep them as independent contractors because they're kind of passing the buck. They don't want to deal with the problem. They want other companies to deal with the problem. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example of growing pains. Remember when Facebook came out and they was trying to get profitable? They had problems, they had struggles. This is what happens to young companies in a new industry. Facebook is still going through it, but it definitely went through it when it very first came out. You had the privacy, then you had how are they going to make money, then the ads and all these things is going to come out. That's what's going to happen when you have a brand new company in a new industry. What's going to have to happen, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have a compromise of some sort. This is what I would love to see happen. Where we already kind of see Uber release a statement saying, "Hey, look, we're looking to compromise. So we're going to invite employees a certain amount of benefits um, or whatnot. We're going to provide employees some type of benefits because people look at it as it's a wealth gap. It's the rich and the poor. You got the rich shareholders and the rich people who work for the company. Maybe they employ 1,000 people that work for the company, and then their drivers out there making, by the time they pay for everything they got to pay for to getting their oil changed and getting their tires changed, things like that, they're making minimum wage. So you have that. Hey, you got this little guy on a little pole who's just barely making enough to survive, and then you have these people up in his office with these elaborate salaries. That's how people are looking at it, and they say, "Well, if I'm an employee, you guys are making all this money from me. Provide me with more." So I think the compromise is going to be Uber don't bring them on as an employee and give them everything, which the employee doesn't want to be an employee. The drivers don't want to be employees. The drivers just want benefits. So if I was Uber, maybe you come up with some type of benefits package. Maybe if you drive this long or you drive this far, if you drive this much, you qualify for these benefits. And to kind of keep that independent thing going on. So I think that's what's going to have to happen in the compromise. Or what's going to happen, the other compromise is for Uber just to leave California. Uber follow what Tesla just did. You could just leave California, save a bunch of money, go down to Texas to a business friendly country, and then shut down your operations in California. Yes, that sounds crazy because California is a big state and has a lot of major hubs, but that might have to be something you do. The bad thing about this can start a trigger of events. One judge did it. It may start another judge. It go from California to New York to Florida to this or whatever, and boom, the business could pretty much just explode, right? Implode, not explode, but implode on itself, right? So very big news. I definitely keep an eye on it and see how this kind of come out. Hopefully, some type of compromise, which I think will have to be reached. Um, I'm not on either side. I would say have to be some type of compromise. I understand drivers want benefits, but I understand the company and the shareholders want a profit. So got to be a type of alliance of a happy marriage. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Prince Dykes. This is the Investor Show. Until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me doing around the globe. Peace, be safe. I'm out, and thank you.